Back here at home, he is ready to talk to reporters about the first day of training camp. Let's listen in.
Just about everybody, but I thought it was a good practice, nice start. Well, BJ said that if I buzzed it and bleached it, he would do it too. So now everybody's got to hold him accountable because he's got to do it in the next week.
Was there anything else to it, or was just...
I got bored. That's about it.
How many Eminem references have you had over the last couple days?
Well, I haven't exactly been too social the last couple days, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure they're out there.
Joe, do you anticipate practicing every day? Can you walk us through what you're anticipating this month to look like in terms of your participation?
We're going to play it by ear. I don't really, we don't really plan on practicing more than 2 days in a row other than this first chunk. So we're going to play that third day by ear for the next week. And then after that, I plan on going every day.
Zach told us that he wants to play all the starters in the preseason, including you. Is that something, I know in years past you said that you wanted to get some of that. Is that something you want to do in terms of preseason work?
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it this year. We'll try it out. I think in order for us to be our best at the beginning of the year, I think we kind of need that. So that's something we wanted to do in years past, haven't been able to, but I'm excited to get that done this year.
What do you expect to be the difference between the joint practices, because you have two this year, versus getting the reps in preseason? What would say add to playing the preseason?
Yeah, just more game reps. Kind of get that it's just different when you go out, you warm up, knowing you're going to play, you sleep in the hotel, knowing you're going to play. It's just all different when you know you're going to go out there, and whether it's a series, a quarter, a half, we haven't really talked about that yet, but I think that's just getting that first feeling out of the way in a scrimmage essentially will be good for us.
Do you think your snaps during preseason games might bear on how things go during the controlled scrimmages? I mean, how many snaps you take there and all that sort of thing? Are they separate entities totally?
I don't know. We haven't really had those discussions yet. I think both will probably play a part. I imagine how we play in that preseason game when we're in there will also play a part. So I think there's a lot of factors.
Was there anything in particular you worked on today? Focused on?
Just getting back out there. Wanted to get the legs back under you. The first time you're out there for a camp practice, your legs are always feeling a little heavy. You got to get back in football shape because you can train as much as you want, but it's always different when you come back out here. And getting the timing, getting the receivers back used to making those contested catches that they haven't made in a while. So everybody's just getting their feet back under them, and I think it was a good day.
How close are you to not thinking about the wrist at all when you throw?
Yeah, I was happy with today. Still feeling it out. Still have some throws where it's like, well, what did that look like? Usually goes where I want it to, but sometimes it doesn't spin the way I want it to. So we're still working through that. But I feel really good about where I'm at. I feel like I kind of figured something out towards the end of the practice there in individual. So looking forward to exploring that a little more.
Just to follow up on that with your wrist, since none of us play football at the level you do or have probably ever had that wrist procedure done, what's been the most challenging part in terms of, has it been strength or gripping? Like, what's been the most challenging part to get through, to get you back to where you are?
Just the inconsistency. With any injury, there's good days and bad days, and it doesn't really seem like there's any rhyme or reason to it too much. I've put the work in. The people around me have put the work in for this thing to be at 100%, and I'm happy with where it's at. The strength is really good, and my mobility in it has gotten much better over the last month and a half. So I think I'm in a good spot. It's going to continue to get better, especially getting all the reps that I'm going to be getting during training camp. It'll continue to loosen up. So we're in a good spot.
Is there a specific day you're going to stop going back to the games? You guys map that out yet?
I don't think I really plan on throwing too much on Friday this week. But as I said, we're going to take it day by day, and we'll see.
When you guys went through that process of building that out, what's the biggest impact to have that rest day not going back to back? What does that kind of help you the most so you can recover from it?
I don't know. We'll see. The hope is that I'm going into week one feeling as fresh as possible. I think we're doing a really good job of managing all the guys coming back from injury right now. So our coaching staff and our training staff do a great job of trying to keep us healthy and keep us fresh going into week 1. We're doing a little more with the multiple joint practices and playing in the preseason, so we're planning on doing a little bit more of that this year. But as far as practice-wise, they take care of us.
You and T didn't get to be completely healthy at the same time a lot last year. Like, kind of what are you looking forward to, kind of a next step with that connection, kind of how that can grow this season?
Yeah, T's gonna have a big year. It's nice looking out there and seeing big, long, strong T lining up. You know, I saw him out there and I screamed, "T, it's good to have you back." This, one of the reps today, and it's just nice to see him back out there. He's getting his feet back under him just like everybody else is, but he's in a good spot.
From a standpoint, what are you hoping to accomplish from a big picture from now until September 8th?
Just continue to work on that consistency. I'm going to continue to get the dexterity that I need when we continue to throw through all these days in camp, and individual is going to be a big part of that. So I feel really good. My whole body's feeling great. Going to continue to adapt and evolve depending on whatever challenges are presented, but we're in a good spot.
You said it's going to be different offseason for him than what they did this year. What's the thing you didn't do this year that maybe you did in previous years?
Just listen to my body more. If I was really tired one day, I didn't quite go as hard in the weight room or on the field. Took more time off if I felt like I needed it, and I think that worked in my favor. I was going into camp in really good shape. I was really strong. I was happy with where my weight was at. So we had a good plan.
This is the freshest you felt for first practice in probably 2 years?
Yeah, I would say that. The first practice, your legs are always a little heavy, but I felt really, really good throughout.
Joe, you mentioned it was nice to have T out there. Sometimes when guys go through contract negotiations, you don't know what you're going to get in training camp. To have a guy like him out there on day one after the contract negotiations and all that, what does that say about T?
T, that's the kind of guy T is. T's going to come out and work. T knows how big of a year it is for us and him, and he wants to get out here and get better, just like we all do. I think he's going about it the right way. He hasn't. His business is his business, but I know he's a football player at heart and wants to continue to get better and improve.
Do you think
Who do you envision stepping up and taking over TV's role in the slot?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I feel really good about all of our options, whether it's Andre, Chuck, Jermaine, Trenton. I feel like those guys had a great spring, and they all looked really good today. And I feel really good about our tight end room as well. So I think this is the deepest and most talented group that we've had since I've been here, from top to bottom, in a lot of different spots. So I think a lot of those guys are going to have to fill that role and step up.
How much Homer offseason have you had, mentally, emotionally, whatever? Given last year you were going through contract negotiations, then you had the injury at the beginning of camp, and now it seems like you're in a different place. Characterize that every year.
Yeah, definitely less distractions heading into camp this year, I would say, especially in this first week. We had a great plan over the last month to month and a half to get my body and mind the way that I felt like it needed to be coming into camp. And that's a credit to all the people that I surround myself with. They work really hard to make sure that I'm at my best, and I'm really appreciative of that from people in the building and out the building, family, friends, everybody. So I'm really happy with the plan that I had coming into camp this year, happy with how my body feels, happy with how my mind feels, so we're in a good spot.
Do you think the extra work and do you think the extra joint practice, the work in the preseason games, do you think that will be an antidote to the slow starts the last couple of years, or do you think the slow starts could be just kind of written off to help?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. That's a question that's to be determined, but I think we're thinking about it the right way. I think we're trying new things to try to help those slow starts and getting off to faster starts, putting us in a better position at the midway point of the season. And so I do think that it will help, but we'll see.
What's kind of the message that Jamar is on out ready for camp, and he's going to deal with this stuff as you know, kind of try to work with him back in the rotation with you? What's kind of been the message to him as how he kind of deals with guest dealing?
You know, we've had our discussions that, you know, I'll keep private, but his business is his business, and he's out here encouraging guys, and you know, I'm not entirely sure what his plan is at this point, but you know, I know he's with us 100%, and so when he's ready to come back out there and practice, we'll be ready to have him, and I know that he's going to be physically and mentally ready whenever you step back out here, and he's going to be the Jamar Chase that everybody knows that he is.
Is that one of the benefits of having a guy you played with for so long, that you guys have so many years built up, that if there is a long absence, like you guys can pick up quicker than what another receiver?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. You know, I was thinking about that this offseason, that I've played about 10 games over the course of my entire football career outside of high school without Jamar, and those were the games my rookie year. So, you know, we have that chemistry that you can just kind of plug and play.
You